Good morning, guys. I have some exciting news. So, some of you already know this who I, see in person, but I haven't really shared much online about this, and I'm really excited to announce today is the start of my next cut. I started a cut back in late fall of 2022, and it lasted about 11 weeks. And then I have been watching Mr. Alberto Nunez, for those who are familiar with him, over the last year or so in his prep for bodybuilding. And bodybuilding is something I have always been sort of attracted to, but I was like, you know what? I'm more of the performance type of person, not so much aesthetic driven. And so I always stuck to powerlifting, weightlifting, strongman, and those types of sports. But watching the that's funny. I was gonna say artistry, which is the name of the skincare product I'm using as we speak. Watching the artistry of bodybuilding over the last year, and specifically Berto's approach to it, has been very appealing to me because, as much as I do love performance, I love the idea of building your body to make it look and sculpt it to the physique that you desire. That's always been something of interest to me. It's something I have done in the past, even as a performance athlete. And just over the years, I feel like, okay, I could be doing better than what I'm doing. And so I reached out to him. I reached out to Team 3DMJ in December, and I booked a consultation call with them. And how that goes is you reach out to them, you fill out their intake form, and then from there, they assign you a coach that you will talk to. So it's kind of going in blind. I have followed Berto and Jeff, as well as Eric, over the years, but specifically Berto and Jeff have been the two that I feel most speak my language. And so I was really excited when I found out that Berto was the one that I was going to be able to speak with on the consultation call. Basically how it went, I told him what my training had been looking like and my nutrition. Like I said, I was about 11 weeks into a diet when I had got on the call with him, January 4th, 2023, which also happened to be the day of my 2-year anniversary of taking my business, POA. Hey, Pursuit of Authenticity, Strength and Wellness. It's 2 years of taking my baby full time. And so I was really excited to have the call with him because it just felt like a wonderful way to celebrate that milestone. And anyways, on the call, we got to chatting, told him I kind of was feeling like I needed some direction, bodybuilding's appealing to me, but I also feel like, maybe I could start prepping for a powerlifting competition. And so at the end of the call, going back and forth several times, I landed upon let's see how I do with a cut that could not get me ready to go on stage, but be kind of how would I do if I were prepping to get on a stage. And so how we set it up is after our call, I went into maintenance for 3 weeks just to kind of balance everything back out again, get into some good habits at baseline. And then at the end of those 3 weeks, it was go time. Not we're running out of the gate, but okay, today is day 1. And I feel really good. I feel like I was a little anxious after our call because the plan that we discussed for this cut is gonna be just different. I don't know if more aggressive is really the right word, but different than anything I've done in the past, this approach. And so it kind of it challenged me a little bit when he was telling me about what we'll go through. But after a few weeks of kind of letting it settle in, letting my mind adapt and, I don't know, kind of mentally prepare, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be fine. This will be fine. So, as I said, today is day 1. I just finished doing my weigh-in for the day, which how that will work is I'm going to weigh in once a day for the next 7 days, and then won't weigh in again for probably a couple or few weeks. And I will subtract the highest weigh-in as well as the lowest weigh-in for those 7 days just to get a data point. So we're going to take an average of those 7 days. So no attachment to the scale or any overthinking of that. Just getting that point for the week and then backing off, staying away from it until I weigh in again in the next few weeks later. I also did some progress pictures this morning, more like a progress video. Went back through, did some screenshots to just kind of get a starting point with that. I'll probably do some measurements. I have not done those yet. And yeah, overall, I'm just kind of laughing at myself this morning because as I'm getting these starting points, the pictures and the weigh-ins, etc., I'm laughing at myself of how it feels like I was literally just doing this yesterday. Which is funny because I was not just doing this yesterday. In fact, I just counted and it's been 7 years since I have consistently been taking progress pictures, been doing weigh-ins, putting myself into a pretty regimented routine. It was pretty exciting because though it's been 7 years, I felt like, okay, my posing's not great. It's not ever something I've really been coached on. But I was like, oh yeah, I remember how I used to do all these different poses for progress pictures. I remember, and I guess just seeing my physique on screen this morning, even though I have not been consistently grabbing those data points over the years, I've still been putting the work in. So seeing where my physique is now is just so exciting because I'm at the start of this cut and I'm already damn, my shoulders look good. I'm proud of what I have built. So I'm excited to see what's underneath that. And I'm proud that another part of our call was he gave me a training program that's a little bit more bodybuilding focused. Still get to do squat, bench, deadlift and kind of be able to speak the language of the barbell still, but I will have more isolated muscle movement patterns. And I can tell the difference already and how that's affecting my posing because I'm able to really, contract and get those muscles looking good while I'm doing my posing. And again, it's not grade A posing, but it is better than what I used to do, and that's the goal. Overall, I just feel so much more at ease going into this process than what I've done in the past because I said 7 years ago when I did go into a pretty aggressive cut, it was I had this perfectionist mentality and I was just so rigid about the process. And I know that this time will be so different because of everything I learned since that last time, as well as throughout that whole process. So it feels really good just to know it doesn't have to be perfect. I just get to keep learning about myself throughout this process and kind of take that pressure off of too much focus on the outcome. Not exactly sure how much of this process I will be sharing with you guys, but I did want to just put the camera in front of me today and kind of see how that went, to be honest. I do feel like I have a lot of knowledge that I can share from over the years. And I do feel like, again, I will be learning a lot throughout this process. So I figured it would be kind of cool to be able to, give back to you guys, but also allow myself to grow in this process by being more, being able to reflect more and share with you guys. I think it'll help you guys to grow as well as myself. Hello, good morning, you guys. Today is Friday and we are almost a full week into the cut. I feel really good. There were some nights this week that were a little bit challenging with this new drop in calories. However, for the most part, I feel like I'm handling it so well. Really finding that balance between getting to the gym and resting. So speaking of rest, today is a day off from the gym. So got all made up and we are heading to Stouffer Home here in Grand Rapids. It is a local home goods shop and they have a coffee shop inside called the Bradbury. So we are going to go there this morning, get some creative work done and just soak up all that juicy goodness. So I'm really excited for that. One more day in the gym for the week. Tomorrow I'll have my deadlift day with a bunch of upper body accessories, some lower body stuff too. It's kind of like a full body day, but I am excited for my long Saturday sessions. I love long Saturday sessions, just not having to rush to get it in and just really enjoying the whole training session. So then follow that up with a refeed day tomorrow and Sunday, and that will round out the first week of the cut. So I'll probably give you guys one more update here on this video and I don't know, maybe post it to the YouTubes and get this whole vlog rolling for this next cut series. All right, we are about to have some breakfast and I'm just trying to feel out what is going to be a good routine for me as I get into this cut. As I mentioned, the last 3 weeks, I brought my calories back up to maintenance. I usually eat about 4 meals a day. And so with this cut, I'm going to be dropping my calories down on my low days, which will be 5 days a week, to between 1,300 and 1,550, I think, or 1,500 calories. So with that said, I probably will switch to 3 meals a day just to make sure that I'm getting a good portion of food pre-training and then post-training and then probably one more meal to cap the day. So that keeps me feeling pretty well fed at each meal time, but just having a little bit more buffer before I eat in the morning and then maybe not eat so late into the evening type of thing. I found that has worked really well for me in the past. So I think what I'm gonna do now, I usually like to eat about an hour or two, more like 2 hours out from training so that I don't feel too full going into my training session. I don't like feeling really heavy when I go to move. So it's almost 10 right now. I think what I'm gonna do is have my breakfast, have a little bit of, have my breakfast, have a little bit of coffee while I work, and then probably head to the gym around 11 or closer to noon. Because I also like to take my pre-workout before like noon, definitely, so that it is out of my system. I think it takes like 8 to 10 hours for it to fully be out of your system. I usually go to bed around 8:30 to 10. So definitely don't want to have any pre-workout past noon so that I get good quality sleep. So that said, I have cut my meal, my normal breakfast, back a little bit. I normally have a chocolate protein shake, which looks a little funky. I put cauliflower in it, plus a scoop of chocolate whey, some creatine, a little bit of salt just for some more electrolytes and it boosts the flavor, some cocoa powder, and I think that's it. I like adding the cauliflower. It gets me more micronutrients, and I feel like it acts like as ice, so it gives me that like frothy, frozen-ish texture to the protein shake. So it's a little bit more substantial than just mixing whey with like milk or water, etc. And then typically I would have 2 pieces of toast, but today we have 1 with my breakfast. Sometimes I'll put some margarine on it and maybe peanut butter, but today we just have toast, and that's okay. I have my vitamin D because I live in Michigan and there's not very much sun right now. And vitamin D, I think a lot of people are just deficient in it in general because of working indoors a lot. So I like to take it. It helps me feel pretty stable and good. And then I also have 2 fish oils because I don't eat fish that much and it's good hormonally. So some fish oil for me. A little bit of, this will actually give me a little bit more carbs than what you see here. This is the rest of a caramel macchiato I had from a couple days ago. A little bit of caffeine in that, but not too much. And yeah, so that's the start of the day. Gonna get this in me. Gonna get some work done, which I'm excited about. Get a good training session in. Probably a couple more meals for the day after that. I do have 60 minutes of cardio throughout this cut, and those can be broken down between 2 to 4 sessions. So may hop on the bike in the basement later today, just get a 15-minute session in to move a little bit, or I might just go for a walk later, get some steps in. So that's kind of what my day is looking like. That's kind of what my week is looking like. That's kind of what my next 20-ish weeks will look like. Again, 5 low days, 2 high days on the weekends. I don't think I mentioned it, but the high days will be between 1750 and 1900 calories. So definitely getting myself back into a really fed state. Those will also be my rest days from the gym, so that when I come back around to my training on Mondays, I will be like feeling full, feeling ready to go to get some good sessions in for the week. So that's the plan, and this is the process. So I'm excited to have you guys along for it, and stay tuned. I'm hoping to get, well, we'll see. We'll see the rhythm of how this goes. I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to follow what feels good. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in, and comment below what you would like to learn more about. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button, do me a favor and subscribe so that we can help the channel to grow and to reach more people, and hit the bell to turn on notifications so that you can be notified as I continue to launch more episodes in this series. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.